Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Sun.
The Rays broke out the lumber on their 6-game road trip, slugging 14 home runs on their way to a 4-2 record. Tonight, Tampa Bay returns home as slugger Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees arrive at the Trop, beginning a 3-game series. After successful stops on that last road trip in Boston and Cleveland, Rays put together a winning road trip, and tonight begin a 7-game homestand. Starting with a 3-game series, this game 1 between the Rays and the New York Yankees. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. We'll hear from Alex Cordery throughout the evening as well. Well, a big home run hitting road trip for the Rays. 10 home runs alone in the Cleveland series. 3 by Corey Dickerson, and he'll be in that leadoff spot again tonight for the Rays.
Yeah, you have to be so impressed with what Corey Dickerson has done all season long. Really, the consistency of approach has really stood out, but he has taken it to a new level here over the last 10 ball games. Look at the average. 419, those 3 home runs you talked about, Dwayne, those have come in the last 2 games. 7 runs driven in, and the slugging percentage approaching 800. The way that he's able to stay balanced at the plate, quick bat, and use the whole field is the big reason why Corey Dickerson continues to put up impressive numbers. Speaking about impressive, what about this young man for the New York Yankees? Aaron Judge tied for the Major League lead with 14 home runs, and a big reason why you're going to see right here, no part of the ballpark is safe. Right field, center field, left field. He's cleaned up his swing mechanics, better at pitch recognition, and at 6 feet 7 inches tall, 280 pounds, he creates a tremendous amount of leverage.
Well, around baseball, the disabled list has been very busy this season. The Rays, the latest, sending Brad Miller to the disabled list, which means Daniel Robertson will get a look at second base. Alex has more on that.
Friday night, the Rays returned home riding high after a successful road trip, but Brad Miller, while in Cleveland, suffered a lower ab injury. So the Rays have placed the second baseman on the 10-day DL. Stepping up in his absence will be Daniel Robertson, who replaces Miller in the lineup at second base. The Rays have acquired the versatile infielder and outfielder Michael Martinez from the Indians, and to make room for Martinez on the 40-man roster, the club has placed left-hander Xavier Cedeno on the 60-day DL. Here's Robertson on stepping up for Miller.
Obviously, it's exciting. You know, I know my role, and obviously, you'd never want to see a guy like Brad go down. But I've always told you that I'm staying ready, stay prepared, and it should be a nice little opportunity. And I'm not going to change anything. Just go out there and try to simplify the game and do what I can to help the team win.
Erasmo Ramirez will take the mound for the Rays tonight. Kevin Cash says the righty's arm is feeling good and he's ready to go. Ramirez says he's looking forward to making the most of this opportunity tonight as he gets ready to take on Aaron Judge and the Baby Bombers next on Fox Sports Sun.
Erasmo Ramirez will head to the mound for the Rays to open this homestand. First game of a 3-game series against the New York Yankees. When this season started, there were 3 teams never to have been in first place last year. Minnesota, they're in first. The Rays were in first earlier in this season, and the Yankees, and they come to town in first place. An opportunity for the Rays to meet this first-place New York ball club in an attempt to pick up some ground. Tonight's lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. New York will have Brett Gardner to lead it off, followed by Jacoby Ellsbury and then Matt Holliday. Starlin Castro hits cleanup. Aaron Judge in right field hits 5th in front of Didi Gregorius. Chris Carter, Austin Romine, and Ronald Torreyes will complete the New York lineup.
Well, and Erasmo Ramirez has done a little bit of everything for this Rays pitching staff. So since he's starting tonight, and in that vein, let's take a look at his 29 career start numbers. Impressive. 13-6 record, 3.3 .3 earned run average. The whip, he limits base runners, and he does it by being efficient. These 29 starts, he's averaging just over 14.5 pitches per inning.
Rays come in a game under 500 at 21-22. New York 24-14. And we are set to play baseball. Gardner in the box, and the first pitch of this game is a strike call. Underway right on time at 10 past 7 o'clock. Gardner, a .282 average for the year. 2 for 10 in his career against Ramirez. Ramos has the jump on the New York left fielder. 0-2.
Well, fastball strike one, a little backdoor cutter for strike 2. We'll see that an awful lot. A great job of mixing pitches. Erasmo Ramirez does quite often with the fastball, that cutter. Changeup's a big pitch for him, obviously. He works quickly and he throws strikes.
And he has disposed of Gardner on 3 pitches. Bonham dropped out of that one.
Now let's take a look at the Rays defense. I'm sure they're going to come into play at some point tonight. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we have Colby Rasmus, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. And across the infield third to first, Longoria, Beckham, Daniel Robertson, of course, filling in for Brad Miller, Logan Morrison, with Derek Norris behind the plate.
Here's the young infielder. Robertson getting an opportunity to string some starts together with Miller sidelined. And here's Ellsbury. Ground ball headed toward the middle, through into center. On the first pitch fastball, Ellsbury singles right back through the middle.
Well, you would expect that too from this Yankee lineup here tonight. First of all, Erasmo Ramirez, you know, you're going to see that right here the pitch get hit up the middle. But Erasmo, his last outing, he threw 28 pitches. The most pitches that he has thrown in the month of May. Most pitches in the season was back in that one start that he made on April the 20th, where he threw 66 pitches. So you figure he's going to want to attack the zone early to be very, very efficient. The Yankees know that. They're going to come out swinging.
Matt Holliday. The pitch is a strike.
I'll tell you something else. That lead right there by Ellsbury was aggressive, and it got very big. So you better keep an eye. This Yankee team, they'll run a little bit. They're tremendous percentage. They pick the right times to run. Ellsbury no different.
Well, Ramirez making it exciting all the way around there.
Thank goodness Logan Morrison's a tall guy with some wingspan. What's great too is Logan really wasn't looking, because Ellsbury had not left the bag. He still had the little league lead going.
Well, the Rays saw exactly what you saw there, and a couple of tosses over on Ellsbury, who is feeling good in the running game. 8 of 9 on the year, 5th in the league. There's a shot driven deep into center field. That ball will hit off the wall. Kiermaier plays the carry. They're going to stop Ellsbury at third on the double by Holliday. Holliday smoked that one right off the wall in center.
Let's go back to it again. First pitch of the at-bat. They know that Erasmo Ramirez is going to be limited tonight in pitch count, and so he's going to come out and be very aggressive. This one just leaks back across the middle of the plate, and very fortunate that this didn't leave the yard. That was an absolute rocket shot. Didn't have quite enough air underneath it and hit that ball out in center field pretty hard.
A double following the base hit. Second and third with one out for Starlin Castro. Castro, the third leading hitter in the American League. His offense has been a big part of the New York success story so far. Cut and the miss. Taking advantage of the aggressiveness there. James Segura topping the American League. Avisario Garcia next, and then Castro. Mike Trout's fourth, and then Corey Dickerson. So on this homestand, a chance to see 3 of the top 5 current hitters in the American League.
Well, and if you look at what this Yankee lineup is doing right now, with the infusion of the youth, Castro is a different hitter this year. Aaron Judge, different hitter this year. Headley, he's been productive. Holiday, Gardner, right down the line, and a lot of damage to be done in this Yankee lineup. They lead the league in runs scored, runs per game.
Ground ball headed to short. Run's going to score, and the throw into the runner. But Morrison there to come up with it. Ellsbury crosses the plate, and Castro drives in the run. So they take an early lead. The Toyota inside look, and we'll look at the offense here of this New York ball club. First everywhere.
Yeah, the runs per game, average, the long ball, tied with the Rays, of course. So you're going to see some teams that can get it out of the park. On base percentage, slugging percentage. They're giving themselves opportunities, and they are cashing in.
And here's a big part of it. The young right fielder Aaron Judge, 14 home runs, leading the league in that department. Pitch is down. He's on a pace to hit 63 home runs. Can he keep that pace up? There's some people who think he might be able to.
Well, the thing that he covers is foul line to foul line. We saw that in the open, just in the videos.
Ground ball through the hole into left. They're going to stop Holiday on the base hit. Rasmus came in, got to the ball quickly, and with his good arm, Yankees decide not to challenge it.
Yeah, and the Rays right there dodged a bullet, because a runner on second base, a ground ball into left field, 2 outs, running on contact. You got to think that Holiday's got to score here, or should score most of the time. But Colby Rasmus, the Yankees well aware that he does have a good arm. He's got a right fielder type arm out and left, and they don't chance it.
First and third now for Didi Gregorius. Gregorius is hitting .320. Strike one. And he's 5 of 11 on this road trip for New York. So he's been a hot hitter recently.
When the Rays saw the Yankees earlier in the season, Didi Gregorius was not a part of this team. We're running different guys out there trying to fill in, waiting for him to come back off the DL.
0-2. Looking over that pitch out in front. Pitch is up. Judge takes off. No throw down there. He'll get his 4th stolen base. Here's the check swing.
Elevated heater, and absolutely he held up. Boy, getting that body going. 6'7", 280.
And a cut and a miss. Gregorius out on strikes. The strikeout limits the damage to just 1. Rays coming in to hit. Tonight, Rays and the Yankees beginning this 3-game series. New York with a run in the first, and the Rays will line them up this way. Presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Corey Dickerson leads off the DH, followed by Kevin Kiermaier and Evan Longoria. Logan Morrison, Steven Souza Jr. and Kobe Rasmus in the heart of the lineup. Tim Beckham hits 7th. Daniel Robertson hits 8th, the second baseman, and Derek Norris, the catcher, bats 9th.
Now taking the mound tonight for the New York Yankees, right-hander Luis Severino making his 8th start of the season. Even up record, 3.86 earned run average. You can see averages 6 innings a start. The Rays saw him earlier, mid-April. He threw the ball very well against him. 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts in picking up a win.
Yankees come in here 2-1 in their series at Kansas City to begin this road trip. And here's Dickerson taking the first pitch from Severino. It's too high. That fastball registering at 97.
And a pretty easy 97.
One and one. Dickerson trying to get it started early.
Yeah, especially when the pitches are close to you. You know, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball away, you've got to be quick to it, but 97 in, you've got to be lightning quick to it.
It's foul back, 1 and 2.
That's what they're trying to do to Corey Dickerson right here. Last 2 fastballs have been in. You speed up Dickerson. Now you look, maybe does Severino think about going to the changeup, a pitch that he's been using more this year and obviously uses more against left-handed hitters. There you go, slide ball, and he wants it down there.
And it's stroked right back through the middle, a base hit.
And that's why. You know, when you speed a guy up on fastballs in, and then you're going to follow that up with a breaking ball in there, you had better get it to the spot you need it, which is down. This thing's just spinning. That actually ends up staying middle, and Corey Dickerson just laces it right back up the middle. Mistake by Severino, and you do that with Corey Dickerson this year, and you're going to pay for it.
Well, he's coming off the 3 home runs in the last couple of games in Cleveland. Over the last week and a half, he's hit better than 400. Aboard with a base hit now. Kiermaier takes a cut and a miss, strike 1. You know, that gives Dickerson 4 out of 6 with a home run against Severino. Kiermaier, on the other hand, has struggled against this guy, just 1 of 12. Pitch right there.
And that's what you were thinking you go with Corey Dickerson. Instead of trying to get fancy with that slider down and in, is the very good changeup. He's got about anywhere from 8 to 10 mile an hour difference from the fastball.
Again, too high, 1 and 2. Glenn Walcott calling the balls and strikes. Scott Berry first, Brian O'Nora is second, and Paul Emmel at third base, the crew chief. A 2-2 count. Evan Longoria is on deck. Man on, 2-2 the count to Kiermaier. Gonna be out of play, holds the count right there. Yankees have Austin Romine behind the plate. He was the catcher behind the plate when the Rays faced Severino back on the 13th of April, and he gave him just 2 runs, 5 hits in 7 innings, and had 11 strikeouts in that game. Kiermaier getting time. count is full. Go back to the middle of April. Take a look at Luis Severino in that game in New York.
Well, he had tremendous command of the fastball and the slider. You can see those last two getting him exactly where he wanted, was able to elevate when he wanted to. You know, the Rays can run up some strikeout numbers, and Severino was glad and happy to oblige him that night, 11 of them in 7 innings.
Kiermaier extends it, fouling it back. This full count.
This right here is a very good battling at bat. You keep forcing Luis Severino to make quality pitches, and now you've got him to the point where one more mistake, you take a walk. Now you have 2 runners aboard, and you start to apply some pressure.
That's when one hopper handle on the left side by Gregorius. Out at second, the throw to first, not in time. So Dickerson is forced, and Kiermaier aboard on a fielder's choice.
This pitch acted more like a cutter than a slider. It got in on the handle. So Gregorius has to wait for it, then run to the bag, and there's no way that you're going to get Kiermaier. Look how quickly he gets to top speed. It really is remarkable. It's about a step and a half, and he's already at top speed. No chance to get him.
Here's Evan Longoria. Kiermaier draws the throw. One steal against Severino this year in 1 attempt. It's a foul reflecting back to the screen.
Let's take a quick look at that Yankee defense. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And what we have going on in the outfield left to right is Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Aaron Judge. And across the infield, third to first, Ronald Torreyes, Didi Gregorius, Starlin Castro, and Chris Carter. Austin Romine behind the plate.
Longoria pounds it the other way. Fastball that time. 0-2.
Well, when you put yourself in this position, especially as a right-handed hitter, you really start to think about that slider and the slider down and away, and you've got to be able to recognize the spin on that pitch and try to lay off Severino trying to expand the zone. Hope he leaves you a slider like he did Corey Dickerson.
The takedown on that pitch. Yankees scored a run in the first, scoring on the ground ball to short by Castro. They got Ellsbury home. Over to first, Kiermaier back in.
Go!
Another take down and away. 2-2.
Here in the early going, Severino has gone to the changeup 3 or 4 times. He's yanked every single one of them. Even the one that he got a swing and a miss from Kevin Kiermaier, he yanked it. He's carrying that pitch over with him, and it's ending up too far glove side.
This one stays inside, and so what was an 0-2 count now is 3-2.
Yeah, mechanically trying to overthrow everything right now, carrying the changeup, inconsistent with the slider. We've seen him bounce a couple. We saw him hang one to Corey Dickerson, almost hit Longoria with that one. Trying to find that happy medium. Rays are not a team you want to come out sluggish against.
Tapper third, Reyes to second. That's the only one they're going to get. So Kiermaier forced at second, and Longoria aboard with 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, Kevin Kiermaier made that really close. Ball gets topped and rolled over. Kiermaier with a good secondary. Boy, he gets down there like right now. Oh, that ball just does get into the interior of that glove before the spikes hit second base. That was close.
Well, here's Logan Morrison. Takes a strike. Morrison 6th in the American League with 11 home runs, hitting .246. With 2 career at bats against Severino, he's 0 for 2 against him. Shot toward left center. Ellsbury on the run. He will not be able to get there. Back into the triangle. Here comes Longoria. He's going to score. No play. This game tied on the double by Logan Morrison. Longoria scores from first on the long double by the Rays first baseman.
Severino's had trouble getting into rhythm. Here's another changeup. He doesn't yank this one, but he floats it in there. And Logan Morrison recognizes the sideways spin. He's all over the pitch with no finish. And he takes it way out there deep into left center field. 2 outs, Longoria running. He scores easily. And the Rays tie it.
Well, par for the course for the Rays. They continue to score early. They come back to tie it. And now here's a strike to Steven Souza Jr.
Well, it seems like it takes starting pitchers, so many starting pitchers, time to settle into a game, coming out throwing in the first inning as opposed to pitching, not quite locked in. And the Rays, well, they make you pay.
1-1 to count. Souza went 2 for 11 in the Cleveland series, had 2 doubles. Fouls this one, the fastball riding in on him. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Rays in the early part of games, as you know. Take a look at this. Runs in the first inning. Tops in the American League with 34. And when you expand it through the first 5 innings, they're outscoring the opposition now 133 to 86. The back end of games, another story. But things have been a little better there recently. Now the count is full. Well, the Yankees have been tough on Evan this year. He's had 19 at bats against them and has struck out 10 times against New York pitching. Evan in the dugout. He has scored the run. Driven home by Morrison. Now Souza with a full count. Check swing, foul ball right back into the screen. Heads up, Cole. Souza, on the other hand, against Severino, 3 of 9, and has worked a full count. Trying to get the go-ahead run home in the first. Lifted foul, headed for the stands, forcing another 3-2 pitch.
Well, the one thing that the Rays have done is made Severino work very hard. Now 27 pitches, approaching 30 now here in the first inning. Yankees give Luis a lead. He comes out. He's a little bit inconsistent with his command and location. The Rays take advantage, have plated 1 run, trying to get another, but at the minimum, forced a lot of pitches.
Souza steps out on Severino. And ball 4 inside. Souza heads to first, Morrison up to second, and Colby Rasmus will bat, but not before Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, has a word with his right-hander Severino on the hill.
Seems like that's the Rays' goal every ball game. Force the other pitching coach to the mound first. And they've done that tonight by not expanding their zone, taking advantage of the mistakes that they've gotten, and staying disciplined in the strike zone, because right now Severino kind of all over the place.
Rob Thompson, the bench coach, the acting manager tonight. Girardi missing this game due to a graduation. And here is Rasmus. Well, a good opportunity for the Rays here early to come back. Dickerson single was forced by Kiermaier. Longoria reached on a fielder's choice, forcing Kiermaier at second to keep the inning going. And Morrison doubled to tie it. Now a walk to Souza Jr. and here is Rasmus. Ground ball foul, and that cracked the bat. Rasmus stepping into the Rays lineup has provided 4 home runs. Reinstated on the 2nd of May. Chopped to the right side. Carter, the toss to Severino, who gets over to take the toss to retire the side. Rays put up a run. We're at the end of an inning, tied 1-1. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By Frontier Communications, Good Files TV, Internet, and voice. By Jeep, get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Erasmo Ramirez back to work for the Rays after a 15-pitch first inning. He faces Chris Carter. Big power, a lot of swing and missing, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. Carter 2 home runs on the year, and in his career 2 of 8 with a home run off Ramirez. Austin Romine will be next, and then the third baseman Ronald Torreyes. Fly ball right field. Souza Jr. right there. 1 away.
Well, for Erasmo Ramirez, it's all about missing the barrel, and he'll do that a number of different ways. He likes to pitch down in the zone. Occasionally he'll bring one up letter high, uses both sides of the plate, good off speed pitches that he keeps down, looking for balls off the end of the bat. Extremely efficient, extremely confident.
First pitch, Romine takes a strike. Right. Souza Jr. right there for this one.
I mean, he's fun to watch. You know, Erasmo Ramirez, another one of those guys who is fun to watch. And Souza Jr., of course, had a day off yesterday, so he's got plenty.
Yep. Well, he was on his way to kind of meet that lazy fly ball and gave it a little bit of that Kiermaier hop, and then looked over and smiled at him.
Keeping it light.
2 gone, and here's Ronald Torreyes. Takes a pitch inside. Torreyes getting the start over Chase Headley. Headley'd been struggling lately, 440, but you can remember in the first 6 games of this season series, the Rays could not get him out. There's a popper, and Robertson, the second baseman, right there. 1, 2, 3. A quick inning here in the second. We're tied at 1. Up, Rays doubleheader means you get double the game action, double the fun, and double the Rays magic. Saturday, June 10th, the Rays take on the Oakland A's in a scheduled doubleheader, and you get 2 tickets that day for the price of 1. The first 15,000 fans receive a Matt Duffy double play bobblehead presented by Spectrum. Visit RaysBaseball.com today. Here's Tim Beckham. First pitch he takes for a strike. Fastball in there. Beckham at 279 on the year with 7 home runs. One count. Two. Cutting a foul ball on the fastball. That was registering at 99. Spread so far from Severino.
And we've seen all 3 pitches, so he keeps them pretty tight in that range.
It's down 2-2. This is the 8th start for Severino, and Romine has caught 7 of those, including the last 3 since Sanchez has come back off the DL. The general feeling of the Yankees is that Severino and Romine, with Romine back there, he tries to get him to vary his pitches a little bit more. Fly ball center, and Ellsbury is there, trying to get the changeup into play a little bit more to complete him as a 3-pitch pitcher.
Severino, if he could do his best Chris Archer imitation every start, he would.
Yeah.
You know, because he throws so hard and the slider can be so sharp, and that's another, you know, good velocity pitch for him. You know, you'd see an awful lot of fastball slide up. Sometimes you need a veteran catcher out there to say, hey, don't forget about this guy, because this is going to be very important for you. And you know, you also need to get Romine playing time. Can't play Sanchez every day, and so Romine clicks with Severino, gets him to maybe come out of his comfort zone a little bit to good results for the most parts this year, and then all of a sudden they become a couple.
Another pitch fouled, this one back of the dugout. 0-2 to Robertson. So Daniel Robertson, an opportunity to put together a few consecutive starts now at second base. And he takes strike 3. Severino powers up on Robertson.
When was the last time the Rays went through 8 hitters in the lineup without a strikeout? First strikeout of the night for Severino. And this is a good one here. Fastball just locks up Daniel Robertson. Velocity outstanding. Location perfect.
Base is empty, 2 gone. Now Derek Norris. Inside a good shot at Robertson. You know, here's a young guy. I get a chance to play, and then I get that.
Yeah.
99 in. See ya.
At least it's the first at bat. You gotta try to stay positive. A couple more cracks at him, but
Norris lifts his high, foul. It's going to be out of play.
And you know what adds insult to injury is, for the most part here early on, Severino hasn't been sharp. The 99 or the fastball in that he's wanted, he's not been able to get there. And all of a sudden he is able to dot it up on you. And that's what you hope doesn't happen. A guy's a little wobbly early, you get a good opportunity against him, you do cash in for 1 run, but then all of a sudden he finds it.
Yeah, you want to keep the wobble going for a while.
Yeah.
Handy pitch right there. 1-2. He's got a run, a couple of hits, and left 2 in the first. That's a foul-tipped strikeout right down into the mitt of Romine. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the third, tie. Of on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group of 50 to 85 in the private party area, just steps from the Rays bullpen. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by calling Group Sales at 888-FAN-RAYS or emailing Group Sales at RaysBaseball.com. Limited dates remain. Brett Gardner will lead it off here in the third. Top of the order.
All right, here we go.
First pitch strike in there. Gardner, a few words with Quinn Walcott, the plate umpire. 22 pitches through the first 2 for Ramirez, including the 7-pitch second inning, and a strike to start the third. One and one. So Ramirez, as he does a lot, starts hitters with a strike, 8 of 10. First pitch strikes for Erasmo. And the bunt charged by Longoria. Scooping through, and it's high by Morrison. Down toward the bullpen. Souza Jr. runs it down and fires back to third. So the bunt by Gardner puts him in scoring position now at second. Base hit and an error charged to Longoria.
Well, he recognizes right there, and Evan knows that he's going to have to hurry this. So good and so adept at making that play and throwing on the run, and this one just sailed on it. I wonder if he had that ball more in the palm of his hand and never got it to the fingers. You're going to have less control in the palm. Anyway, it sails over the glove of Morrison, and Gardner moves up 90 feet into second base.
So a man in scoring position with nobody out to begin the third. The new Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury singled to center and scored in the first. That's going to be fair over the bag at third. Gardner scores. Ellsbury heads to second and is in there ahead of the throw. 2-1 New York. Well, that didn't take long. He got it just fair right over the third base bag.
Well, stays away, starts to come outer third but up, and Ellsbury just slashes it. Evan Longoria plenty off the bag, not expecting that. And just like that, and this is the way the Yankees envision this offense. They've got a lot of power in this offense, but they also have those two guys up top, Gardner and Ellsbury, that can make things happen on the base paths. They're just a pain to deal with.
Holiday takes a strike. And here's a guy who hits the ball about as hard as anybody and has been good with men in scoring position for the Yankees in the middle part of their order, hitting over 350 in that situation. He has Ellsbury at second right now. Broken bat is jammed from short. Beckham makes the throw. Ellsbury advances to third.
And a good read by Jacoby Ellsbury, understanding that Matt Holliday was jammed by that pitch. That ball was not going to get out to Tim Beckham in a timely manner, so you can go ahead, and even though the ground ball is happening out in front of you, it's not hit that hard, so you can get to third base with no fear of a play being made on you. He recognizes the speed of that pitch, the speed of the hit, really, and is able to get over to third base here, less than 2 outs, pretty easily. That'll force the infield in. Erasmo Ramirez, a guy that can go get a ground ball when he needs it.
Well, here is Starlin Castro, who drove in a run with a ground ball in the first. An aggressive hitter. Strike one. He's not chasing as many pitches as he has in the past, but he's still an aggressive hitter. He's walked 9 times this year and tops in the league with 55 hits. One ball, one strike. Down 2-1. Castro 3 out of 6 against Ramirez. Ground ball first. The runner's going to hold as Morrison looked him, throws him over there, and takes care of that ground ball unassisted. 2 gone with Ellsbury still at third. The infield can drop back.
Yeah, and bringing him up there. Good move by the Rays. Erasmo does get the ground ball, eats Castro up with that fastball up and in. And Logan Morrison can really sell that right there because he is at first base and look the runner back, retreat, take the out, and now look to end the inning.
Aaron Judge at the plate, singled his first time. Strike one. A 25-year-old infielder. And a fly ball short center. Kiermaier's there for it, makes the catch. to retire the side. They settle for one, 2-1 New York, mid-3.
What's up, Chris? Hey, be careful. I got a mic, okay? Seriously. Core Judge can throw it. Remember, you got Ellsbury in center. Keep your head up on anything up the middle with those guys pinched. There's no one on the left side of the infield. Been about 125, Kev. He has a slide step quicker than that, too. 1 out.
Well, the first bit of advice at the very beginning, I got a mic. I'm serious. I really do. Got that out of the way, the disclaimer early.
Well, and that was with Chris Carter. You know, Chris Carter's on the other team, not aware of that.
Yeah.
So before you say one word, just let me give you the heads up. That's being a pro. That's Rocco Baldelli being a pro. I also love the advice he was given. You know what I mean? You got Aaron Judge can throw. You got your run over there at first base, and when on a ball to the outfield, he's got to be thinking, you know, who's got a good arm, who doesn't, who are we going to challenge? And Rocco's right there to remind him. Aaron Judge's got a big arm. You got Jacoby Ellsbury in center, meaning, without saying it, we're going to challenge him. And it just, you know, goes out. Watch the middle infielders. They let, you know, just talking to, you know, through these different scenarios that they may have to, you know, contend with in a split second.
Yeah. And in that little segment that we had right there, the base runner knows all that. But if you put yourself in that position, you may know it. It's great to have all of that verbalized to you right there. Helps keep you focused, helps keep you aware. So people ask, well, what's that first base coach do down there? Well, that's a big part of it. And that's an important part of this coaching situation. Line drive off the bat of Dickerson, caught by Castro.
Yeah, that stuff is very important because the speed at which this game moves, sometimes it can speed up on you, and you get down, and especially when you're playing different teams all the time, different series, you going over this stuff in the meeting, and you absolutely should know it. But a nice little reminder. I mean, imagine if you were a pitcher out there, and Jim Hickey could stand right next to you and be like, "Hey, remember this guy?" You know, every single time, it would be a big help, obviously.
It's Kevin Kiermaier. And he shortens that bat, takes the pitch for a strike.
And then how about with Kiermaier? Talking about his time to the plate. He's got a slide step that's quicker than that. You're just giving your potential base stealer a heads up.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And that would speak to why there's only been 1 attempt against Severino all year. It was successful, but again, 1 attempt in 42 innings.
Yeah, and keeping the attempts down is as big a part of that game as having a guy thrown out occasionally.
Yeah. Well, and as a right-hander on top of it. You know, if you're a right-handed starting pitcher where there's only been 1 stolen base attempt against you, you're doing a really good job of controlling the running game, even if it was successful.
And strike 3 call. picks up the strikeout, looking. 2 up, 2 down. 3 strikeouts in the last 4 hitters he's faced.
Well, and he has started to sharpen up his stuff. The velocity's still hanging right in there. The locations have gotten a little bit better. The sequencing has gotten better because 2 of the strikeouts were looking, and they were looking on fastballs.
Evan Longoria, pitch down and away, 1-0. Evan now 3 for 15 against Severino with a home run. Ground ball headed toward the middle, base hit into center. Longoria with a 2-out base hit will get Logan Morrison to the plate in the 3rd inning.
This fastball is up enough. Evans able to get fully extended. He uses the middle of the field, and with 3 Yankees right there in the picture, he's able to squeeze it by all of them.
Double by Morrison, his 6th of the year, driving in his 28th run in the 1st. Strike 1. Foot out of the way of that one, and the count is 1-1. Severino comes in 2 wins, 2 losses, has a win over the Rays and 1 over the Red Sox. His losses to the White Sox and the Blue Jays. It's a good take. Checking in time, 2-1. A couple no decisions in his last start. 2 starts, no decisions, 7 innings against Chicago. That was at Wrigley Field. That was that 18-inning game. He gave up only a run on 4 hits and 7 innings in that one. And had a tough time against Houston in a no decision. Now he goes 2-2 to Logan Morrison. Gave up 3 runs in 2 1/3 on 6 hits against Houston. The Rays got a run off him in the 1st. Into the dirt, blocked by Romine. Full count, then Souza Jr. on deck. Severino seems to have been better from the windup so far than the stretch. 3-2, and he misses. Left that pitch wide. The Rays have 2 men on.
Well, Dwayne, this may be a reason why. Watch Severino really fall and pull himself off of this pitch. Right towards the first base dugout, really pulling himself off. Pulls away from that pitch, is not able to get good drive, doesn't get out in front enough. Look where he's going. Not driving towards home plate, but kind of falling off towards the first base side. The hand doesn't get to the proper spot, and the pitch stays off the plate away. Well, the Rays with a little something going here. 2 outs, a base hit, and a walk.
Well, let's see if Steven Souza Jr. can pick out a mistake in location and do something with it maybe. That's a ball. 1-0. 2 out single by Longoria. The walk by Severino to Morrison. It's 2-0. Walk behind the mound by the New York right-hander. And now it's 3-0.
He just cannot settle in. These last 4 pitches, you've seen 3 different deliveries from Severino out of the stretch. He's working himself into some trouble here.
Picks up a strike, 3-1. Rays have Rasmus on deck, hoping to get a chance to swing the bat in this inning. Swing and a miss. Full count.
And this was a hanging slider. You see that out of his fingertips. And he leaves this middle of the plate up. You know, anytime you see a hitter swing under a slider, not doing exactly what the pitcher wanted it to. But it was bad enough that it gets a strike regardless.
3-2, runners go, and that's ball 4 wide. He missed wide with it, and the bases are loaded. Longoria to third. He reached down the single, then walks to Morrison and Souza to load him, and another trip to the mound for the pitching coach, Larry Rothschild.
Oh, you had Fox, you know, that's where it can be deceiving. That shot right there certainly looked like that pitch caught the corner. Fox Tracks had it just off. Bottom line is this: when your command starts to go south and you've been inconsistent all night long, borderline pitch, most of the time you're not going to get.
Well, the Rays have gotten that wobble we were talking about here in the third. With 2 outs, they've loaded the bases. Big opportunity. It's going to take a big 2-out hit. The Yankees break up the conference on the mound, and Colby Rasmus will be the hitter. So Rasmus, with 4 home runs, including a grand slam this year, has the bases loaded again and takes a big cut and misses. Strike 1.
And he got a hanger. And again, it was bad enough of a breaking ball that it stays away. It just kind of spins. That's a cement mixer. No movement at all to that. And again, the swing is underneath it. So that ball comes out of the hand, and Rasmus recognizes slider spin, swings where he thinks it's going to end up, and it's still not there.
And again, strike 2.
Same thing. Same thing. We haven't seen Severino throw a real good snappy breaking ball here for a little while. Another spinner. But it's getting the desired results. Problem is, one of these is going to get hammered.
And a cut and a miss. Well, he got that one down and in. Rays leave him loaded and trailed 2-1.
now in the fourth. Well, catcher Wilson Ramos took BP today, and according to manager Kevin Cash, he said Ramos looked, quote, very impressive. The Rays skipper told me Ramos was hitting balls where you don't see many go. Now, Cash knows it's just BP, but says it was Ramos's first time on the field taking full batting practice, and it was just exciting for the team to watch him. Dwayne, BA?
All right, Alex, thank you very much. And that, of course, would be a very big addition the Rays are counting on. Progress being made there. D. Gregorius takes the first pitch for a ball. It's Ramos looking on from the Rays dugout.
Boy, imagine plugging those numbers into the Rays lineup, and you look at the Rays lineup now, and there are guys, potential trouble sprinkled all the way up and down that lineup. Then you add in Ramos and what he's capable of doing. You saw the power numbers along with the average and on base percentage. Yikes.
Ball 2, 2-1. It's been an interesting team, this club. From day to day, you look at it one way and then you look at it another way. But the bottom line on that, you add a bat like Ramos to this lineup. Now 2-2 to Gregorius. And if you get, and you don't want to shine the light on these two hard throwing, the right-hander and left-hander in the Rays bullpen, just let them do what they're going to do. But you start to get some consistency out of the bullpen to somehow get the ball from the starting pitcher into Colome's hand. And then you throw Ramos in there to help the offense. It could get interesting.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Dwayne, I think.
A little tap. Longoria bare hands and the throw. Scooped by Morrison, but it's not going to be in time. And Gregorius reaches to start the fourth. Scott Berry on the call over there at first.
Yeah, a little swinging bunt, and Evan realizes he's got to go bare hand if he has any chance. And then that throw, one hop. Gregorius right there at the front of the bag, and let's see. Interior of the glove is what we're looking for.
Hey, they might have gotten him.
Yeah, they may have gotten him. Absolutely, that foot looks to be just off the top of that bag. And this could absolutely go the Rays' way based on that look that we just saw.
Well, so the Rays will challenge this call. Scott Berry down there with Paul Emmel. And it would appear the Rays have a pretty good case here.
Yep, absolutely. Watch this ball right into the, yeah, they're going to get him. And it's a quick verdict, Dwayne. That's good for the Rays.
So that's the first out. So Longoria to Morrison. Nice pickup by Evan. A good scoop on the other side by Morrison.
Well, you know, with Evan, it's the feel for the position. It's the feel for the game. You know, there are times when Evan will play that ball into the glove. He did on the throw that sailed on him. It was a right play. The throw just sailed. And right there, he understood, I don't have time to go glove to hand to throw. I got to go bare hand to throw. And he was absolutely right because he got him by an eyelash. But that's just ground ball after ground ball. A feel for who's running, how hard the ball is hit, how far you've got to go to make the play, and he's great at it.
It's a foul. The count is 1-1.
Well, what I was going to say earlier was I think if the Rays get the bullpen settled down and locked down, and by the way, they showed some signs on that road trip. They were outstanding in Boston and Cleveland.
Very good too, and the performances convincing.
Yeah, and the number of guys getting those performances done. You get the bullpen straightened out. This team, to me, is a playoff team. You go to starting rotation, one of the top starting rotations in Major League Baseball, and those numbers speak for themselves. That road trip, tough road trip in Boston, in Cleveland, where they've traditionally not played very well, knocked the cover off the baseball. Starters, okay, but look what the bullpen did. Picked them up. Overall, the starters, and then, you know, the Rays are going to score enough runs.
Yep. Starters out on strikes. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. The trouble with the team to this point, even before Ramos comes back, has not been offense.
No.
You know, the issues have been bullpen, get the ball from the starter to the closer, and some defensive issues from time to time that have put more pressure on pitching and those guys trying to get the game to the closer.
Yeah. And I think that those are, you know, that there are fixes there. You know, you can fix the defense, you know, more of attention to detail, you know, guys holding each other accountable, know where to be, know when to be there, all of those things, communication, that can take part of the defense, because the athletes are out there to be able to make the plays. No question about that. It's just, are you mentally engaged all the time?
0-1 to Romine, and that's a strike. Nothing in 2.
A couple good sessions at Kangaroo Court take care of that defense.
Yeah, do they even hold that anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a lot of interesting things come out of that.
He used to get tuned up. I mean, they would make up charges against you.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to beat them.
Swing and a miss. Romine out of there. 1, 2, 3. Go the Yankees. 2-1 New York. Tonight's Unlimited Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, how about Freddie Freeman? You know, he and Aaron Judge were giving each other a run for their money until Freeman sustained that fractured left wrist, and he's going to miss maybe 10 weeks. The Texas Rangers trying to win 10 in a row. They have an early lead on the road in Detroit. They've been averaging over 6.5 runs a game, trying to get back into the race in the American League West. You know, they started the day, they won 9 in a row. Hey, there's a line drive base hit for Beckham. He's not wasting any time going for the first pitch, and the Rays put the leadoff man on base. How's this? You win 9 in a row and you're still 7.5 games out of first. That's Texas behind Houston.
Yeah, well, that speaks to how well Houston has been playing. And in a way that's disheartening. You just keep winning. You win for a week and a half and you're still not really within shouting distance. That's where you're going to have to take care of business in the head-to-head.
Oh, here's a bunt. Throw to first, back in. Boy, Robertson trying to get a bunt down and popped it right back to Severino.
And Severino made a throw over there to first baseman. That was a lot closer than you'd like.
Yep.
Let's see, Beckham gets his secondary. He starts to go. Right there, Severino makes the throw and forces a quick step back in.
So the sacrifice attempt does not work out.
That right there is where we need Baldelli mic'd up. That we need that exchange.
Yeah, I think they turned the mic off for that one. Move over there, and Beckham is back in. One on, one out. Derek Norris in the batter's box. And that's a strike call. Two-strike count. Rays with 4 hits. They've drawn 3 walks. They have 1 run. They trail by a run. Beckham draws a throw again. And Norris is out on strikes. Pitch down and away.
The slider for Severino tonight has been very inconsistent, but when he's been able to get it where he wants it, it's been very effective, as you would imagine. Throws it with a lot of velocity, a lot of break. It's just that he's not been able to do that consistently here tonight. That was a good one.
It's Corey Dickerson. 1 for 2. Line to second his last time after a first inning single. Fouls a fastball straight back. Strike 1.
I tell you, he does not get cheated. You know, a guy with a swing that big, typically you're not seeing him hit right now. He's what, over 330 on the season.
Yep.
But boy, he picks his spots. He's got a quick bat. He's very sure of himself as far as, you know, his mechanics, his balance, his approach at the plate, and so he lets it rip. And that's why he can combine the power and the average.
2. Well, there's where he ranks. Coming in, hitting .335, 5th in the league.
Yeah.
And that's the big one right there you just checked off, too.
Boy, I mean, multi-hit game, 6 of his last 10. Gets him in bunches. Not only does he get him in bunches, though, but he doesn't take very many offers, and he's not taking back-to-back offers on the season. So consistency.
And he is out on strikes. On the pitch up, the Rays leave a man. On to the 5th, 2-1 New York. Great moment. It was on this day back in 2013. 23-year-old lefty Matt Moore becoming the youngest AL left-hander to start the season 8-0 exclusively as a starter since the Red Sox had that southpaw Babe Ruth to begin the 1917 season. 8-0 at the age of 22. Torreyes leading off the fifth and bouncing it foul toward the bullpen. Ronald Torreyes popped to second his first time. So far, Ramirez has done exactly what he wanted to do in terms of pitch count. He had 46 through 4, and it had only a couple 2-ball counts, no 3-ball counts. Kiermaier there to take care of that fly ball for the first out to open the fifth. Ramirez went to 2-2 with Gregorius in the fourth, got him on a ground ball, and was 2-1 with Castro in the third and got him with a ground ball.
15, the gold standard, and that for Erasmo Ramirez, that's being pushed. They pushed him, got up to 15 pitches. You see what he's done since then, and really he's shown that ability to be able to do that, coming out of the bullpen, being a starter, facing guys multiple times. He mixes his pitches very well. You know, when you go through his mix, when he's ahead in the count, behind in the count, 2 strikes, there's a nice little mix there. He doesn't become predictable, and he throws a ton of strikes.
Gardner, who started the third with a bunt. 1-0 the count.
Uh-oh.
Got a little session going on out there on the porch.
Yeah.
There you are. Look at that. Hey, heads up, boys.
Eye in the sky.
There you go. Let's see. Yeah. Drawing a crowd as usual.
Always watching, Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Have to watch both of them. On the pre and the post, and sometimes the post.
That's right. And in between, you've got to mingle.
Yep.
You got a glad hand. You got to take some pictures. You've got to be aware what's going on in the game.
Yep. So you can talk about it after the game.
Credibility.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Mm-hmm. You know all about that. That's why you saw them immediately turn around and watch the game after the picture taking was ended.
Well, you know, even if they took a picture with everybody out there, you know, over the course of it, they would still not take as much time off during a game that I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I see you here.
I listen to you. I verbally, you verbally cue me on when to jump in and say something.
Foul ball out of play. 2-2.
See, that's when I'll look up and I'll just try to see where that foul ball went. And then the camera right here, Ellsbury, you know, beginning of the order, scrappy guys. We'll talk about that. The power
one thing leads
coming
to
behind.
another.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And it's gotten to be where you just walk it right down the road and you do a game. And it's
One
all been
pitch at a
documented.
time.
It's all been documented today. Going to be part of some special down the road.
That's right. 3-2. Hey, some cowbells. Yeah, we need a few more of those.
You know what? No. See, all together like that, it would be better if they were separate. I get her point, and she does have an awful lot of cowbell. There's no doubt.
I think she believes that she still needs more cowbell.
Well, there's still half of that ring that has not been filled in yet.
Oh, he did not go, and there's a walk. First given up by Ramirez tonight.
Yeah, and did you see the look on Erasmo's face? He's not happy at all. That was very close there. Brett Gardner looked like he did hold up on a pitch that was just off the plate, but Erasmo, rare walk. It's only his 5th on the season.
He's closing in, not quite, but closing in on 30 innings. Well, here's Ellsbury, 2 for 2. Ground ball first, out there. Now they'll get him in a rundown. Well, not much of a rundown. Beckham just chased him back and tagged him. So it turns out to be a double play. Ellsbury grounds to first, and that started it. 2-1 New York.
Yeah, he's not just getting, you're right, he's not just getting on the mound and working. And he's got good stuff. I feel like if he executes his pitches, he's tough. He's tough, he's good. Swing it up. Hey, boy. Right behind you. You can walk. You can go.
Rocco Baldelli, the Rays first base coach, mic'd up for part of this game, and that gives you a little insight into what his evening is like down there. Here's Kiermaier and a comebacker to the hill. Severino tosses to first, bottom of the fifth underway, 1 pitch, 1 out.
You know, I like even what he was doing with Evan there. You know, because that was a situation where they're not really holding Evan on anymore. It was a full count walk, and so he's going to be off and running there. But it's also unnerving when a guy's not holding you on. Is he right behind me? Is he going to break in behind me and try to pick me off? And Baldelli's telling him, hey, you're good, walk, you can go now. And that gives the base runner peace of mind to know that a guy's not going to backdoor him. You stay busy down there, and you've got to stay engaged.
Devin Longoria taking a strike, 1 out, nobody on.
It's not just a position to collect hardware. An ankle guard, elbow guard, batting gloves.
Ground ball, fair. Down the left field line. Beyond the bullpen mound. It'll kick back to Gardner. And Longoria is on his way to second with a double. Rays have the potential tying run at second. Longoria's second hit of the night. Well, he didn't hang around first base long enough to talk to Rocco Baldelli this time.
No, yelling at him as he runs by. Another slider that Severino couldn't get to his spot. Been an inconsistent pitch. We've seen some good ones. Here's the thing. Here's what we've seen, Dwayne. As far as the slider goes with Severino, the good ones have been swung and missed or taken. Mm-hmm. The really bad ones have been swung and missed at. Mm-hmm. And the middle of the road ones have been hammered. Mm-hmm. That was what that was right there. Spun middle and got roped for a double.
12th double of the year for Evan. The Rays have another opportunity with Logan Morrison in the batter's box. He has doubled in the lone run for the Rays so far and takes a pitch wide. Double in the first and a walk in the third.
Logan Morrison has become so dangerous in these types of at-bats. Leading the way on this Rays team and runs batted in, and he's become a real threat. Obviously the long ball has been there for him, but just good quality at bats, pitch recognition.
Now back 1-1. Let's go back to the first.
Add to the list. Recognizes changeup, that ball outer half, and he just stays right through it. Was not fooled at all. You saw the swing mechanics were perfectly in sync. He was not out in front, and that's because he picked that spin up right out of the hand of Severino. And now Severino, you know, there's a chance that you're out there maybe a little uncomfortable to throw him that pitch again.
2-1.
You know, left-handed hitter hammers your changeup like that, all of a sudden you're reluctant to go back to it. Well, he's effectively made you now a two-pitch pitcher.
Three and one.
It doesn't look like he wants any part of Logan Morrison here. I can't say I blame him.
Runner at second, one out. And a big cut over that one.
Well, that was one of the good ones, and he got Logan Morrison to chase really that ball down and in off the plate.
And the count goes to 3-2. Ground ball back of first. Carter makes the pickup, stepping on the bag. Over to third goes Longoria. 2 outs with a man at third. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live range baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Two walks for Steven Souza Jr. tonight. 3 for 9 in his career against Severino. See what he can do here in the 5th. Fastball, strike one. Ground ball, that's a foul ball. 0-2. Action down there in the bullpen. Jonathan Holder, the right-hander, up for New York. They are without Aroldis Chapman. And Souza out on strikes. Rays get a double. Leave a man. We go to the 6th. 2-1 New York. Yankees open the scoring in the first inning. Aaron Judge with a base hit scored Jacoby Ellsbury. The Rays came right back. Logan Morrison's 2-out double chasing home Evan Longoria to tie it. Yankees broke the tie in the third on this fair ball double, just fair over the bag at third by Ellsbury, scoring Brett Gardner. And we have a 2-1 game headed into the sixth inning. 55 pitches tonight for Erasmo Ramirez.
Through 5 innings.
Yep.
I mean, 11 per.
It's only 15 pitches out of the zone, 40 strikes.
Yeah.
15 balls.
Yeah, that's Erasmo's game, and he does it as well as anybody, and is still able to limit hard contact. And you just wondered how long he was going to be able to go here for the Rays. Had one other 5-inning stint back on April 20th. That was in 66 pitches, which was awfully efficient. He's up to the ante here.
One and one.
And really at this point, it's not so much about the pitch count anymore. It's how many times up and down, how many times he's had to re-warm up. You don't want to push him too hard.
So Diego Moreno a moment ago loosening in the bullpen for the Rays.
I've been there, Dwayne. It's beautiful in the winter. White sandy beaches.
Great sunsets.
Yes.
Diego Moreno Beach. Can't beat it.
That sounds like a wonderful destination. Oh, it
says he's in the bullpen.
And a good bullpen
yeah.
on too.
Don't even need a passport to go there. Bullpen pretty close. Still 1-2 on Holiday. Starlin Castro on deck, and then Aaron Judge. Cut and a miss. And Holiday is out on strikes.
The confidence to let a changeup go. Erasmo Ramirez is not trying to be fancy here with location. It's all about the arm speed. And look where Derek Norris is set up. He's set up middle. Now the ball ends up a little bit in, but he's not worried about going to a corner with that pitch. He's like, I'm going to get you on my arm speed and the fact that you're going to swing at that. Meanwhile, the pitch speed is going to be a little bit behind what you think it is. That's confidence.
Starlin Castro. Pitch is a strike. Yeah, that changeup, to throw that, you have to not only, I would think, intellectually accept it, but emotionally, psychologically accept that. That might be the biggest challenge with that pitch.
Well, it's a pitch that's going to be, you know, down a few levels as far as velocity goes, 8-10 miles an hour off the heater, but you have to throw it with the mindset of a four-seam fastball. The mindset is, I'm going to blow this pitch by you. And that's where you can generate and stay aggressive with your arm speed, is you're thinking fastball and you're letting the grip do the work and take off the velocity.
It's a pretty amazing pitch to watch him do what he does.
I love it. Well, that was, I mean, if it wasn't for that pitch, I wouldn't be here with you. I promise you that. I love the changeup. And so do the Rays. You know, whether it's the split change, there's a lot of different versions. That's the one pitch that there are probably, I mean, who knows how many different grips you can come up with. Remember the Vulcan change? I mean, we've seen every kind of grip you could think of. The idea is fastball arm speed, and yet, you know, the velocity's just not there. It just doesn't get there because you get your power fingers out from behind the back of the baseball. That's all a changeup is. Power fingers behind the baseball, and the power fingers, I mean the middle finger and the index finger behind the baseball, that's fastball. However you can get those two fingers out from behind the baseball, whether you roll them over like a circle change, you split the fingers on the side, however you do it, now it becomes a changeup. And you throw it just like a fastball and you let that grip take off the miles per hour.
Liner into center. That's going to be a base hit. One big hop to Kiermaier. Castro picks up his 56th hit of the year. Sent a fastball right back into center. Well, Kevin Cash comes out now. 65 pitches for Erasmo. So he departs. The job well done. Back in a moment.
By a score of 2-1, but Erasmo Ramirez thrown into the starting rotation, and boy, he did not disappoint. Threw the ball very, very well, was very efficient, just 55 pitches through the first 5 innings. Changeup was good, the fastball to both sides was good. How about a little help from your defense? Get the ground ball when you need it. We talked about his ability to be able to do that, and Erasmo, you know, gets the job done. You know he was going to be limited in pitches. Still able to get into the 6th inning, turn it over to Moreno. The Rays down just a run.
Aaron Judge is the hitter in the first pitch. He pulls foul down toward the bullpen for a strike. 5 1/3, 65 pitches, 6 hits, 2 runs, responsible for a man on, a walk and 5 strikeouts. You really couldn't ask for more. Stepping in and making his 2nd start of the year.
How many balls did he end up with?
Well, we had through
5, it was 15.
So he had 1, 2, 17.
17 balls thrown in 5 1/3 innings, plus a hitter.
Yep.
That's pretty outstanding. I mean, that is just understanding. I've got a pitch limit, and I'm not going to waste any.
Two now on Judge. He singled in the first, hit a fly ball to center in the 3rd. 4th appearance from Moreno, his first since the 13th. That was the Saturday game in Boston when he pitched an inning and picked up 2 strikeouts. High chop. Robertson will glove and throw. An unusual play in that the Rays had the shift on, and Robertson got that bounding ball, had to move to his left and back.
Yeah, right. Exactly right, Dwayne. Here's Daniel Robertson right there, and the chopper's going to force him left, and then he's going to have to retreat to get a good hop here. There's going to be no chance to get the runner at second. It would have been way too tight and too tough of a turn and throw there. So take the runner at first base and then count on Moreno to retire the hitter here in Gregorius.
Gregorius A strikeout and a ground out on a close play. 1-0 the count. High pop fly. Short left. Rasmus makes the catch. Moreno gets the job done. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 New York. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Jeep, get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance event. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. First game of this 3-game series between the Rays and the Yankees. Luis Severino departs after 5 innings. Jonathan Holder, 23-year-old right-hander, takes over to face the Rays, with Colby Rasmus due to lead it off.
Good numbers for Holder too. You saw 17 punch-outs in just over 16 innings of work, 3 walks. Joe Girardi going to lean, no, not Joe Girardi. Rob Thompson will be leaning heavily on the Yankee bullpen here tonight.
Rasmus has grounded out and struck out. And the pitch is a strike call. So for Severino, 5 innings, 5 hits, a run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 89 pitches. Pitch is fouled out of play, nothing in 2. Station Shreve in the bullpen. And he gets Rasmus on 3 pitches.
That curveball right there was filthy. A couple of 92-mile-an-hour fastballs, and then this curveball. Look at the depth. And he not only gets Rasmus on the depth of the pitch, but the speed, or lack thereof, out in front, over the top.
There's Tim Beckham. Beckham singled his last time up and takes that pitch for a strike. He did offer. And it's 0-2.
Holder comes right out of the pen and showing some high quality offerings here. Fastball, the slider, the curveball. Now the Yankees, as far as ERA goes, the second best bullpen in Major League Baseball.
And a cut and a miss on the fastball up. Two gone. Bases empty. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. Pre-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Matt Andriese will be on the hill for the Rays, and we'll hear from the right-hander. Doug Wechter will break down Gary Sanchez back, and a big part of this New York team behind the plate and at the plate. I want to know. Daniel Robertson taking a fastball. Liner headed toward the corner. Base hit for Robertson. Could get two on his way to second. Gardner with a pickup, and that's a stand-up double. Daniel Robertson doubles his way into scoring position.
Cutter right there. Some cut action on that pitch, but it just stayed true middle of the plate. Daniel Robertson ropes it down into the corner, gives the Rays here a 2-out opportunity.
The Rays will see what Derek Norris can do against Holder. 0 for 2 tonight. Rays with a 2-out opportunity. We've left men on base in every inning except the second. Which breaking ball stays in. 1-0.
Derek Norris there doing his best Brandon Guyer impersonation. Didn't quite work out.
Rays 0 for 4 tonight with men in scoring position. Two and 0.
And while that may be true, Dwayne, these are the parts of the game, these are the opportunities that are presented where the Rays catchers, bottom of the order, have come through. I mean, look at all the hits Jesus Sucre has gotten, runners in scoring position. These guys have driven in some runs from the catcher's position, and right now Derek Norris taking some pitches, working himself a 3-0 count.
Well, if you look what Norris has done over the past, well, not quite a month, but close to it, coming into this game, he's hit .320 since April the 26th. For 16 games. He's up 3-0 right now.
Well, and you know, in that day game in Cleveland, Sucre drove in the Rays' first run of the game. It turned out to be the go-ahead, the game winner, and then a little exclamation point later in the game with a big home run to left field. That came with 2 outs. These guys have had a little flair for the dramatic very quietly down at the bottom of the order.
3-1 now on Norris. Ground ball right side, backhanded by Carter. Throw to first is going to be in time. Holder got over there, and the Rays threatened with 2 outs but leave a man, and will head into the 7th inning. Another look at that play at first base by Carter teaming up with Holder. Yankees lead the Rays 2-1. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. By Jeep. Get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by Pinch a Penny, the perfect people for a perfect pool. Diego Moreno got the last 2 outs in the 6th inning on a ground ball and a pop fly to left. Out to open the 7th with Chris Carter due. Austin Romine to follow, and then Ronald Torreyes. Chase Whitley up in the Rays bullpen. And the Yankees got Adam Warren up in theirs. Carter fouls it. There's the right-hander Whitley for the Rays, getting loose. And Warren for New York. 0-2. Hits Carter. So the leadoff man aboard.
Well, Dwayne, let's take a look at the big story here tonight, and that is that Texas Ranger Ball Club trying to get to 10 wins in a row, and Joey Gallo going, no doubt, deep to right field. That's his 13th home run of the season, and the Rangers extend that lead to 5-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. We talked about it earlier. They've won 9 in a row and still are 7.5 behind the Astros. That's where the head-to-head comes in. They've got to do the work against Houston because they continue to win, but guess what? So do the Astros, and they just can't gain as much ground.
Yeah, Houston starts the day 29-12. Texas winning 9 in a row. The Rangers have gotten to 2 games over 500, 22-20.
Yeah, they did put themselves in a pretty big hole there. All the while the Astros were taking off.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Romine.
Speaking of head-to-head, this is where this series comes in, with the Yankees leading the division and the Rays looking to close ground. This is a perfect opportunity, and they come in playing good baseball. Had a great road trip. Scored some runs. Bullpen was much better.
Fouled back 1-2. Yeah, the Rays have toyed with the 500 mark. They're 1 game under right now. The general feeling, at least psychologically, well, you get to the break-even mark, then you can take off. Well, you can take off at any time. Just get there and keep going. And the Rays head-to-head with the Yankees. You know, they're 5.5 back. Ground ball back to the hill. Out at second. Out at first with Beckham in the middle. 1-6-3 double play. Nicely done by Moreno to begin with.
Yes, and the reason why, Dwayne, he fields that ball. He turns. He knows who's supposed to be covering, and he just throws the ball out over the bag. This will be a great look at it. He's just going to turn and throw. Right there, perfectly leads Beckham and allows Beckham an easy transition over to first. But turn, throw it right over the bag. There's your guy that's covered. That's why before those pitches, before the sequence to the hitter, you're checking behind you. Who's got the bag? Who am I going to? And now you know, now you field, you turn, you feed, and let them do their work.
Yeah, that's really pretty. That double play turned that way. That is fun to watch. Beckham in the middle of it. Strike the count to Reyes. Now 1-1. There's a certain rhythm that goes with that, almost like dancing.
Yeah, and they did that perfectly.
They did.
It starts with the feed from Moreno. If it's a little behind, then that's going to force Tim Beckham to have to get choppy with his steps and maybe reach, and it's out of rhythm, and now that you don't turn it. But boy, the feed that leads you right over the bag and then on to first.
And I know home runs are important and walks and strikeouts, and we see a lot of all three of those. But a double play like that is really, really fun. Especially after hitting the leadoff guy with a 1-2 count and get rid of him.
A changeup too.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Torres. And a cut and a miss. He strikes him out with a mid-90s fastball. We're headed into the bottom of the 7th inning in a 1-run game. It'll be Corey Dickerson to lead it off for the Rays, followed by Kevin Kiermaier and Evan Longoria. 2-1 New York. Bottom of the 7th inning at Tropicana Field. Never too early to start enjoying summer when you're already in paradise. So join the Rays tomorrow afternoon when they play host to the Yankees and be one of the first 15,000 fans in attendance to get your hands on the Hawaiian shirt presented by Tradewinds Island Resorts. Visit RaysBaseball.com. Home half of the 7th. The Yankees bring on their 3rd pitcher of the evening. Adam Warren will be out there on the hill. 1 inning for Holder after Severino worked the first 5.
It doesn't get much easier here, but where Holder works against the bottom of the order, you bring in a little bit more experience to Adam Warren to work the top part of the lineup. A lot of danger up here. Starts with this guy.
First pitch, Dickerson fouls it away. Corey singled his first time, is 1 for 3. He started to go and could not check. Chased the fastball, and now he's in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's how he went down swinging in his last at bat. Elevated heater, and he just a little bit too far on that one, and that one was way up. Now you got to try to regroup and get back into the zone here, down on the count 0-2. But we've seen Corey Dickerson be able to do just that.
The left side foul.
That ability to stay back and have a quick bat. I mean, that was a pretty tough put away breaking ball that he was able to spoil.
Liner, going to be a base hit. Past the diving Castro, and the Rays put the leadoff man on. Down 0-2. Manages to foul off a pitch and then come back with the line drive just past Castro.
Well, that was a tremendous off-speed pitch there by Adam Warren. A better job of Corey Dickerson. Look at this changeup. Look where it's at. Look how far that pitch is down, maybe just off the plate. But he's able to cover it, hit it hard enough. Another multi-hit game, too, by the way, for Corey Dickerson.
Kiermaier takes the pitch down, a ball.
I'll tell you, that's what makes him so dangerous.
19 multi-hit games, leading the American League. You know, Dickerson leads all designated hitters on the All-Star ballot in batting average, hits, doubles, triples, extra base hits, total bases, and runs.
And the scary part of it is you list out all those guys.
Hey, there's a base hit the other way past Gregorius. 2 men on, and a nice job by Kiermaier to get that one through the left side.
I think the Rays in their secret memos, you're talking about Adam Warren, a lot of off speed, especially the changeup against the left-handed hitters. And Kevin Kiermaier, another changeup, another good spot for it, off the plate, down around the knees, and he just slaps it the other way. You don't think the Rays were prepared for Adam Warren?
Two men on, nobody out in the 7th, and here is Evan Longoria. Evan, 7 out of 23 in his career against Warren. Single and a double tonight. Strike one. Side. Rays have 8 hits on the night, and a base hit into right field. Dickerson will be held at third. The throw from right field comes through to the plate, and the bases are loaded. Aaron Judge came up with that ball in shallow right field, and he has the traditional right fielder's arm out there.
Yeah, you combine the fact that it got out to him so quickly and the good arm. Another off-speed pitch down and away. Now, don't tell me that this is all by coincidence. These Rays hitters know what Warren wants to do. Change-ups down and away to the lefties, sliders down and away to the righties, and they're going out there and getting them. And 3 straight base hits have Warren and the Yankees reeling in this one-run game and a chance to really blow it open.
Logan Morrison drove in a run with a double in the first against Severino. Bases loaded, nobody out as he hits here in the 7th. And that pitch, a breaking ball, a called strike.
You know, and here's the thing. Adam Warren is making good pitches. You go back to the 2 changeups that were hit and the slider to Longoria, you don't have much complaint about the pitch type and the location. It's just that these Rays hitters were able to go out and do a better job of hitting to put this together. But well, that's impressive. 3 straight ABs.
Ball, 1 strike. Yankees have the left-hander Shreve up in the bullpen again. Morrison at the plate. Souza on deck. And the ball loose from the Yankee bullpen, and it got Charlie Montoyo down there. Take more than that to knock him down.
He doesn't even, not even phased. He's worried about waving in these runners.
That's right. Ball and a strike to count. Upstairs. The hard stuff high, and it's 2-1.
And if he does start waving in these runners, Dwayne, I know that Charlie Montoyo is not mic'd up, but I can do my best Charlie Montoyo impression. And we can pretend he's mic'd up.
I'd like to hear that. I'd like to get the opportunity to begin with.
Listen, everybody's going to hear it.
2-1 now. Ground ball, that's just foul. The count will go to 2-2. Scott Berry on that call.
Wasn't fouled by much. Right on that line. Go Momo!
Dickerson, Kiermaier, and Longoria have all singled. 2-2, the count on Morrison. He fouls it back, got a fastball.
You know, and he got a fastball up, Dwayne, and what that makes you think, he's trying to put him away right there, get it over the swing. But once Morrison's able to foul it off, you think about that curveball now. Change the eye level, change the speed, depth on the curve. He needs a punch out here in the worst way.
And a foul ball back.
He got away with one there. That was a slider. And Morrison had a good pass at that one, too.
Spinning up there. The 2-2. Swung on and a shot to center field. Hillsborough going back at the track to make the catch. Tag at third. Dickerson will score. Kiermaier goes to third. Up to second goes Longoria. And the Rays tie it on a sacrifice fly to center field off the bat of Logan Morrison. Well, the Rays tie it and have 2 more men in scoring position.
Now he did go with the curveball, didn't get quite down far enough, and Logan gets out there, hits it hard. And not only do you get the run home, but you remember Baldelli talking earlier, you got Jacoby Ellsbury in center field. They're going to challenge his arm. So you get the runner home from third, but you also get the runners to move up second and third now. Everybody fired up about that. Still in good position here to take the lead.
Infield up. And the slider gets a swing and a miss from Steven Souza Jr., who has twice walked, struck out his last time. One, and he takes a strike on a fastball. Slider and a fastball, and he's down in the count.
Yeah, he tell you, that was a perfect located fastball there by Adam Warren. He's going to try to come in, and boy, does he dot that right on the inside corner. And now he's got a chance to go back. Slider away, fastball up and in, back to slider down and away. Again, needs the strikeout. Second and third, less than 2. This is where Souza Jr., you got to think about him earlier in the season. Remember when he would cut that swing down a little bit, try to stay in the middle of the field, just put the ball in play. Something good could happen.
Slow, blocked by Romine. Dickerson has scored the tying run. Kiermaier's at third. Longoria's on second. All with 1 out now. Souza's out on strikes. Big strikeout for Warren.
Especially because he missed his spot. He was trying to go back in and close out Souza in. He ends up yanking this pitch across the plate. It becomes very hittable.
So 2 outs. Colby Rasmus is due up. We're going to get a pitching change. The lefty will enter. Back in a moment. Is presented by Jeep. Rays and the Yankees tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning at Tropicana Field. Left-hander Chasen Shreve enters the game. Colby Rasmus is due up, but Ricky Weeks Jr. will pinch hit against the left-hander.
Well, 2 big runners out there for the Rays right now. Your penny pinch hitter, Ricky Weeks Jr., 211 average, a couple of home runs, but in a big spot here, trying to give the Rays the lead.
So the Rays with 2 men in scoring position. Shreve, the 4th New York pitcher. The pitch down and blocked by Romine. Shreve got off the hill in a hurry, but it was blocked.
Boy, badly missed there, and Romine doing a heck of a job with that runner on third. It's the split, and it's yanked down and in. Boy, look at him slide over, get the glove on it. Well done on a tough chance.
1. First matchup of Weeks Jr. and Shreve. A strike. Weeks not altogether happy about that one.
It was down in the zone, and Austin Romine, with his glove going down, didn't present it very well, but it was there. You see how after he caught that glove almost went down to the dirt. Let's see where it crosses, right there at the knees. That's a good change up there by Shreve at the bottom.
And it puts Weeks down in the count. There, and it's 2-2. Kiermaier third and Longoria on second. Ooh, close. Shreve started to walk off, thought he got the fastball on the corner, but instead the count is full. Three and two now. Ball chopped to third, skips beneath the glove of Torres. One run is in. Kiermaier crossing the plate. Longoria heads to the plate. He is safe, and into second base goes Ricky Weeks ahead of that throw. A chopper down to third that stayed underneath the glove of the third baseman, Ronald Torres. The Rays take a 4-2 lead.
Now, Dwayne, this is why you move the baseball. You never know what can happen. You put it in play. The usually very sure-handed Ronald Torres comes in, a short hop backhand, and it just sneaks under the glove. Boy, he's trying to time this to be able to make the throw. Charges it, gets the glove down, the eyes and the head come up just a hair. The ball sneaks under the glove, and that's 2 runs. The Rays end up doubling up the Yankees right here, now 4-2.
Goes as a double for Weeks. He'll be lifted, and Borges will run for him. 4-2 Tampa Bay. Weeks with a couple of runs batted in the double. Now Borges takes the lead at second. Pitch down, popping away, not far enough to give Borges any inclination to move on it.
That's an instance right there when you talk about, you know, some of the analytics and the metrics that come in that say, listen, a strikeout's an out, a ground ball's an out, you know, an out's an out. Well, 2 strikes, tough situation, tough pitch, put the ball in play. Looked like it was certainly going to be an out to end the inning, but you never know.
Yep. Want to know the count to Beckham. He fouls this one off Romine.
We got the exposed left shoulder. That doesn't feel good. I mean, really, he just got hit in the shoulder by a 92 or 93 mile-an-hour fastball. Now get down and catch.
It's amazing what these catchers go through and survive.
Yeah, I mean, this is
still perform.
This, you didn't get to take your base. You don't get to work out the kinks. You get right back down there and go back to work. You're right.
1-1 now. One hop to short. Gregorius makes the throw to first in time. The Rays come up with 3 big runs, 2 on the pinch hit double by Ricky Weeks Jr. Through 7, the Rays lead 4-2.
Night. Well, the Rays have a fantastic partnership with big brothers and big sisters, and several players such as Steven Souza Jr. and Chris Archer are major advocates. Actually, 20 Rays employees every year volunteer to mentor kids. On the field before tonight's game, there was a presentation, and one of the littles to Rays Chris Butler, Elgin Newton tossed out the first pitch. We'll have more on the Rays making a difference in the community during our post-game show presented by WB Mason. Also, Rich and Doug on the set to recap tonight's game. But first, it's back up to Dwayne and BA.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Well, the Rays with a 3-run bottom of the 7th inning have taken a 4-2 lead. Again, coming up on Rays Live, the post-game. All of the recaps and a look ahead as well. Peter Borges in left field now after running for weeks, who delivered the double. Jose Alvarado on the hill for the Rays, the young, hard-throwing left-hander.
Jose Alvarado, I'll tell you, Dwayne, the last couple of times that we've seen him out there, very impressive. He's filling up that strike zone with the big velocity fastball. The slider's been sharp with a lot of depth.
Brett Gardner leads it off, and there's a fastball at 100 to start.
Why not?
Yep.
I mean, just roll right out. That's the one thing the Rays have done here. With Alvarado, with Ryan Stanek, they have gotten some power arms, big-time power arms, coming out of that bullpen. And like we talked earlier, this is a bullpen that had a tremendous road trip as a group.
Up and in a bit, gets him out of there. And again, close to 100. Trying to get out as quickly as you can.
Those are pitches for a hitter. It's hard to unsee. It's hard to get comfortable back in the box.
Two balls and a strike. Ryan Stanek up in the bullpen. The right-handed side of this hard-throwing duo of young pitchers. Here in the 8th, the Rays have taken the 2-run lead with a 3-run 7th. That's a strike. 100 again, and now it's a 2-2 count. pitched 2 innings in the Tuesday game in Cleveland. He's 6 men. Picked up a strikeout. Close, but he missed wide. Breaking ball there. So he goes 3-2 on Gardner. Ellsbury is on deck. And ball 4. So he walks the first man he faces, Alvarado.
And the only time that we've seen Jose Alvarado have any issues is this, when he hurts himself. Great stuff on the road trip. He was really spot on for the most part with his command, the fastball and the slider. And Jim Hickey trying to get out in front of this with the young lefty. Remember, he came from Montgomery. But that's really the only time when you think of a guy like Ryan Stanek and you think of a guy like Jose Alvarado, most of the time, if they're going to have issues in the game, it's going to be because of their own command and free base runners, because the stuff is just too overpowering and too good for an opposing lineup to put a whole lot, you know,
well, you're right,
together unless you get help from the pitcher.
And the amazing thing about Alvarado, he's been in the Rays system since 2012. He was in the Venezuelan Summer League in 12 and 13, the Gulf Coast League in 14, then at Princeton in 15 last year between Bowling Green and Port Charlotte, and then at Montgomery this year. And now here he is in the big leagues, big league arm, and we've seen him be effective with his control, but you also see a little sign here and there of it not being exactly what he'd like it to be. And all of that just 21. A ball, no strikes to Ellsbury. Again, 2-0.
Going down the list, Jim Hickey talking to Kevin Cash as they go over their options if Alvarado doesn't find it here real quick. Got Stanek warning now.
Three balls, no strikes. Three and 0. No strike. Went 3-2, walked Gardner. Now 3-1 on Ellsbury. Young, hard-throwing lefty facing the veteran Ellsbury. Ellsbury swings and lifts a popper. Beckham making the call, and he's got it for the out. Mile high on the pop-up, so he gets Ellsbury. And the Rays are going to make another change with Matt Holliday's bat coming up. Gannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics, Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. Weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1. Ryan Stanek will get the call. A runner at first with one out. Matt Holliday is going to be the hitter. And now we'll see the high heat from the right side.
Boy, Ryan Stanek, another one of those guys that can hit triple digits, four-seam fastball, very, very powerful. And you expect to see plenty of those.
This pitch in there for a strike, slider to start.
Why not? Just toy with people.
Holiday doubled in the first, is grounded to short and struck out. And the ball can't be found, and there goes Gardner. Norris had it pop away and could not immediately find it as it rolled off to his left. And Gardner alertly moves up.
Well, you've got another slider here at 92 miles an hour. And Derek Norris makes the quick decision there to try to backhand it as opposed to flipping that glove around. That's on him so quick. And now you've got to try to find it. It's too late at that point. Brett Gardner can see the fact that Derek Norris not sure where it is and gets into scoring position.
Wild pitch, charge to Stanek. One, there's a fastball wide. Alame and Farquhar up in the Rays bullpen. Swing and a miss at the hard stuff.
And he served that one right down the middle, but I guess if you got 99 or 100 miles an hour, you can do that every now and then. Boy, look at him just drive that pitch, stays behind it.
The 2-2. Fly ball deep into right field. Souza Jr. will go back, and it's gone. That pitch registered at 100, and Holliday hits a two-run home run. This game is tied. It's a 4-4 ball game.
Well, he missed 99, makes the adjustment on the triple-digit fastball, and gets to it. Just shortens the swing, gets to it, lets the velocity do the work as he creates the backspin. And to right field, it gets out of here, and that quickly this game's tied.
So the Rays see the lead disappear. Now Castro. There's a slider for a strike. People around this New York ball club will tell you that Matt Holliday is a big part of the success they've had so far. And his presence in the clubhouse and in the dugout. And by the way, he also produces runs, as he just did there, hitting his 8th home run of the year. There's a base hit through the hole off the bat of Castro. Castro picks up his 2nd hit.
That's going to bring Kevin Cash to the mound.
So 2 hitters for Stanek. Back with a new pitcher in a moment. By Matt Holliday and a base hit by Starlin Castro. Holliday's 8th home run of the year. Hit it out to the opposite field. And here's that pitch again.
100 miles an hour up in the zone, but Matt Holliday gets it started early. He had just previously swung through a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Makes a quick adjustment, gets it started early, and gets the barrel to the baseball and lets the velocity do the work. Big home run for Holliday. Castro follows it up with a base hit, and now you see Danny Farquhar on for the 23rd time.
And here is Aaron Judge to face Danny Farquhar. Castro the runner at first. So Alvarado worked a 3rd of an inning, gave up a walk, charged with a run. Stanek faced 2 men, has given up 2 hits, charged with 1 run so far. Castro his responsibility. Farquhar, this is just down to Judge, 2-0. Takes a big cut at the fastball and fouls it back. Farquhar leads the league in appearances.
he gives Kevin Cash the ability to bring him in to face righties like Aaron Judge. We've seen him a lot against lefties because of his changeup.
Count goes to 3-1.
With his arsenal, he can become very versatile in who you can try to attempt to have him get out. Tough matchup here.
He gets the strike.
Aaron Judge getting ready to throw that bat away. He had that thing ready to flip back to the dugout and wisely held on to it. Watch this take. Okay, it's ball 4. He has to hold on.
Let's manicure the batter's box a little bit here. 3-2 ground ball third. Longoria down to second 1. First base 2. 5-4-3. Double play takes care of that. Yankees tie it with 2. 4-4 ball game. The bottom of the 8th we go. Tyler Clippard, the new pitcher for New York, facing Daniel Robertson. Swings through the first pitch for a strike. 4-8-0 for New York, 4-10-1 for the Rays, and those are the big innings right now.
Late action. What bullpen is going to be able to stem the tide, calm things down, and let its offense score the winning runs?
In 2.
Tyler Clippard, 16 2/3 innings, an ERA of just over 1. A lot of strikeouts, 22 of them. Opponent's average very good.
A high popper down the right side. Judge coming on there into foul territory, colliding. Judge went down, so did Castro. A little slow in getting up, but they appear to be okay. And in between was the strongman Carter.
And knocked the ball loose. That caught somebody's glove. Boy, those are tough plays to communicate on because everybody's running as hard as they can. over near where the fans are. That ball into the glove of Castro, and then Aaron Judge chops him. Incomplete pass.
And you see Castro down on that hip, left hip. Well, Judge is only, what, 6'7" and about 285. So you'll feel him if he tends to.
He was the first overall pick in the NFL draft this year. Same size.
Size right fielder out there. Upstairs. So Robertson gets another shot. Counts now 1-2.
I can't believe in this day and age that we didn't have like 4 trainers, a truck pull out onto the field. These guys just got up and wiped off the dirt, and back to work they go.
Robertson tried to check, and he's out on strikes. Well, that's 11 strikeouts for Ray's pitch. You see the split right there, the grip and the result.
Well, and not only does that pitch have some good finish down, but you can see it was ever so slightly moving away from Robertson. Can manipulate that splitter to have a couple different planes of movement.
Derek Norris. In there for a strike. Upstairs. The fastball at 91, and that's about average for him in the fastball department. Sometimes a little more than that. Two balls and a strike. Alex Colomé busy in the bullpen for the Rays. Strikeouts and a ground out for Norris in this game. 0 for 4 in his career against Clippard. And he draws the walk. That Ray's got a base run.
Yeah, and make this one hurt. You're going to walk the 9-hole hitter here, get around to the top of the order, who, by the way, they were the big reason why the Rays had such a big 7th inning. So make that walk right there hurt.
Well, Dickerson will come to the plate. 2 for 4 tonight, and 1 for 2 lifetime against Clippard, and that was a home run. For a ball. Dickerson started the 3-run 7th with a base hit. He did a good job of hitting in the 7th against Adam Warren, who was charged with all 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. But you could argue that he pitched better than that. Swing and a miss. Helmet pops off.
Corey meant business there.
thinking, how did I miss that, and where's my helmet?
Multitasker.
First, Norris back in. Big cut on that pitch up.
That'll be a trend to keep an eye on for this series, because the Yankees have really tried to climb the ladder against Corey Dickerson this entire ball game. Just about every guy that has come out of that bullpen, save for maybe Adam Warren with the changeup, has come at Corey Dickerson at one time or another with the fastball up letter high and above, and have gotten some swings.
Swing and a foul tip strikeout. So Dickerson is out on strikes. A dozen strikeouts for New York pitching.
Boy, just a little bit out in front and underneath it. Unfortunately, that pitch stayed out over the plate for a long time.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier singled and scored in the 7th. Ball 1. Kiermaier just a couple of at-bats against Clippard. He's 0 for 2. Shortens on the bat, takes that pitch in. 2-0. With strikeouts in this inning. 12 on the night. Rays have tied the American League record by striking out 10 or more times in 7 consecutive games. Texas did that earlier this year. Two and 0. Lays off and gets the call. 3 balls, no strikes. Longoria would be next. 7 on deck. He's 1 for 3 with a home run off Clippard. And ball 4. So a couple of walks, and the Rays have 2 men on. That pushes Norris up to second base. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks in the inning. Longoria, who has a single, double, and single tonight, reached in the first on the fielder's choice, has scored a couple runs. Just hasn't driven home a run yet, and this would be an opportune time.
Here it is. You've been gift wrapped 2 runners in a tie ball game here late, bottom of 8. You've got 2 outs and you got your big gun at the plate.
He takes a strike. through, and the Rays lead this game 5-4. Norris, the Rays catcher, scores from second on the base hit. Gardner got to it, not all that deep and left.
Well, down and in. That's where that splitter starts to head instead of down and away, and Evan Longoria just drops the barrel on it. This is why we talk about, Dwayne, late inning relievers and the walks. You can't have it. The Rays, during the course of this inning, they put together one base hit, and that was Evan Longoria to left field. But because of the 2 walks, it leads to a run. The Rays take this late lead, look to add to it, but that's why you just can't have walks in the late inning. It started with walking the 9-hole Derek Norris, losing Kiermaier, and Longoria comes through.
Now Logan Morrison with men at first and third. And the pitch is a strike. Charlie Montoyo was waving the go-ahead run home all the way.
And again, it's the arms out in the outfield, no hesitation. They're going to challenge Ellsbury. They're going to challenge Gardner. Aaron Judge is the guy out there that has the cannon. The other 2 guys are going to be challenged every chance the Rays get.
Morrison fouls it back, 0-2. Lane up in the bullpen for New York. Oh, 2 pitch. Checks, it's down 1-2. Well, Longoria with a 4-hit night, and he got the run batted in, and boy, what a big spot to do it here in the bottom of the 8th. Morrison has driven in 2, including the first one with the first inning double. Driven 1 of the 3 runs in the 7th with a fly ball. The Rays have taken a 5-4 lead. There goes Longoria off first. The pitch is fouled back. Evan with his 4-hit game tonight. 7th 4-hit game he's had, and so that ties a career high. Morrison 3 for 8 in his career against Clippard with a home run. And the 1-2, Longoria on the move, and the pitch is down. So Evan finds himself in scoring position now. Give him that bag on indifference.
Yeah, who cares about that extra run? Yeah, we lose 5-4, 7-4. Doesn't matter.
2-2. Oh, a cut and a miss on a fastball. So that retires the side, but the Rays grab the lead. Base hit by Evan Longoria makes it a 5-4 game. 8th inning. Rays taking the lead with that run in the bottom of the 8th. That is our Coors Banquet timeless moment as Evan Longoria picked up his 4th hit of the night, and with that gives the Rays the lead. Chasing home Derek Norris with run number 5 of the game.
Well, 2 walks in the inning, and the Rays were able to cash in. The 1 hit by Evan Longoria, his 4th, and now it's 3 outs.
Alex Colomé on the hill, looking to close it out. 10 of 12 in the save department. He faces Didi Gregorius to lead off. First pitch a little bit wide right there. Rays trying to get to the 500 mark, coming off the 4-2 road trip. This one skied to short left. Beckham out, and he makes the catch for the out. 1 gone to keep Gregorius off the bases. Now Chris Carter Carter .215 with a couple home runs this year. Big time power. Ball, no strikes. Carter hit by a pitch in the 7th inning. Ground ball foul outside of third. Ramirez started this game for the Rays, pitched 5 1/3. Diego Moreno for an inning and 2/3. Alvarado a third. Stanek faced 2 men. Farquhar got the double play ball in the 8th. He's the pitcher of record right now for the Rays. Colomé has gotten the first out. And now's ahead in the count of Chris Carter. A ball and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a cut and a miss. He got him. Cutter strikes him out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 9th.
Yeah, sometimes you're guessing with Colomé. Slider, cutter, whatever he wants to call it. You see it on the side of the baseball, the spin, a little bit of depth, the cutter-like look.
Slider's okay too.
Yeah, it all works. Well, that's why, you know, you think about Alex Cobb and Odorizzi, and is it a split or a split change? I mean, strike 3 is what it is.
Rays have 11 hits in this game. 5th straight game with 10 or more hits in 8 of their last 10. Austin Romine. Ball, no strikes. There's a strike to Romine. It's 1-1. Colomé trying to close this one out. He's an out away. And with that strike, he's 1 strike away. 1-2. He's beginning a 7-game homestand tonight. We'll have 2 more with the Yankees and then 4 with the Angels. Coming back, Romine. Likewise, Colomé steps back. One, 2. Little ground ball. Colomé's got it. Throw to first. Rays win it. They take the first game of the series, winning the first game of the homestand. And after the Yankees got the home run from Holiday in the 8th to tie it, the Rays got the eventual winning run on a base hit by Evan Longoria. 5-11-1 for the Rays. 4-8-0 for New York. For Brian Anderson and Alex Cordray, Dwayne Stats, great to have you with us. Hope you've enjoyed it. Rays Live, the post game is next.